Hello and welcome to the final episode of the Sports Shift for the 2021 season. Well, we are in the Christmas spirit. Brylin, show off that lovely sweater.
It's beautiful.
Galaxy's greetings.
Walmart.
We love it.
Black Friday.
We love it. Well, to get right in, dive right in, Brylin, you know what to do.
Oh, absolutely. Alrighty. The Memphis Grizzlies defeated the Oklahoma City Thunder by a whopping 73 points, 152 to 79, which set a new NBA record. Ria, if I lost by 73 points, I think I would quit. Like, I would want to quit. I would never want to touch the court
Crawl
again.
in a hole and just
forget
about
my
it.
life's over.
Well, in some sad news, Kentucky Derby winning horse Medina Spirit dies at Santa Anita Racetrack in Southern California. Medina Spirit collapsed near the finish line just as he was completing a workout and died immediately. He is known for winning half of his career 10 starts. The racetrack has an unwanted record of equine fatalities, which prompted an ongoing investigation in 2019. Well, for all the horse lovers out there, I am a huge horse advocate, and I was just so saddened by this news.
It is very sad. It's like, even when you hear about those stories about athletes, that that's what I immediately thought of when I read this article. I was like, oh my gosh, imagine, that's so terrifying. So, prayers go out to
and
the
Medina.
owner. The owner and his family.
And hopefully they can sort out whatever misdemeanors are going on in that racetrack.
But on the flip side, that was the only sad part of this show. Anaheim Ducks rookie Trevor Zegras was in awe of the assist he pulled off last night against the Buffalo Sabres. Check this one out. Originally, he looked as if he was going to try the Michigan, which is also known as the lacrosse goal, but instead he flipped the puck to Sonny Milano, and he managed to bat the puck out of the air and pass the Sabres goalie Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen. He stated, "I still can't believe it worked. I've tried it a couple times, and I haven't even come close." Well, imagine trying something new in a game, and then it ended up working out like that. That's just awesome. It was so cool. Never before seen an assist like that.
That has to go on. If there's a list of the most amazing goals in the NHL, that is probably in the top 10.
Absolutely.
It's on my list. But the Eagles' defense has finally settled down, and their offense exploded as Philadelphia held Wilson and the Jets scoreless in the second half on their way to a 33-18 victory. Backup quarterback Gardner Minshew was 20 of 25 for 242 yards to cement his status as one of the NFL's top backups, while Kenneth Gainwell operated as his primary receiving outlet in the backfield. Dallas Goedert was a stud for the Eagles offense with over 100 receiving yards and 2 of the 3 touchdowns. Jalen Hurts, you better take some notes. The biggest takeaway from Minshew's performance was how efficient he was and how happy he was at times to simply make the easy throw. That's probably the biggest lesson for Hurts after watching Minshew complete 20 of 25 passes. Well, the Eagles have finally reached their Week 14 bye, so there is time to regroup, sort some things out, and for Jalen Hurts to pick up on not only Gardner Minshew's lovely mustache, but everything else that he has to offer in football.
Not the biggest fan of the mustache, but I'm a fan of how he played. And once again, the Eagles are in this quarterback controversy, and I don't know what's gonna happen. I don't know if they're just gonna throw Hurts back in there after he gets better. I don't know. I guess we'll see what happens. But I think it was very interesting that Minshew, took the easy throws. Sometimes you don't always have to be a huge playmaker of the game.
Right.
So
instead of getting fancy, just keep it simple.
Yeah, absolutely. But Monday was a very eventful day for the Orange and Black. It started with the club firing head coach Elaine Vigneault and assistant coach Michelle Therrien in the morning, and it ended with a 7-5 loss to the Colorado Avalanche that night as Mike Yeo stepped in as interim head coach. The Flyers have now accumulated a total of 9 straight losses, a stretch in which they've gone 0-7-2 and have been outscored 43-18. One positive takeaway from Monday night was the offense had something to show for. Claude Giroux, the longest tenured active athlete in Philadelphia, has now played for 7 head coaches during his Flyers career, which goes back to February 2008. He addressed the media Monday ahead of the game and before the game and said, "2 of our coaches got let go, but at the end of the day, it's not on them. It's on our group, players, coaches, everybody that's involved with us playing hockey. It's the business side of it. It's not fun, but right now we got to wake up. It's got to be a wake-up call for us." And a wake-up call it shall be, Ria. Nothing settles down for the Flyers as they hit the road for Game 3 in 4 days, a stretch that starts tonight when they head to Newark, New Jersey to take on the Devils for the second time this season. Changes will continue to be made as the Flyers have claimed defenseman Kevin Connaughton off waivers from Florida Panthers. He will wear number 8 and will be available for the game tonight. That's a tight turnaround for him.
Yes.
Just be thrown in there with a new team.
Oh, yeah. But, they're looking at it as a bright spot. They definitely need help on the defensive line with Ryan Ellis being out. And Provorov hasn't really been playing his best. So hopefully Mike Yeo can, he talked about fixing the attitude first before fixing the gameplay. And that's where it all starts, where the attitude, they need to gain confidence as a team as a whole.
I think that's where they are kind of going wrong because, if you're on a team as a 9-game losing streak, you're kind of like, all right, this is annoying. Like, I'm done with this. But, as head coach, he's got to flip it around and get something going.
Yes, and it's definitely been hard to watch, but I have to say the game Monday night wasn't as terrible. We saw them score some goals, and that was exciting. Yeah. So hopefully, they keep it going and fix what they need. Yes. But the Major League Baseball collective bargaining agreement has halted everything in the MLB. It expired at 11:59 on December 1st, 2021, marking the first time since 1994 that the deadline has passed without a new agreement being reached. Now, the league has locked out the players and frozen all transactions until a decision has been made. This means that no teams are to draw deals with players until the league has reinstated an agreement. There is no determined timeline for how long a lockout lasts. The league and players union already missed one deadline to reach an agreement, so there is no exact checkpoint for when one or both sides make concessions to strike a deal. There have been 8 strikes and lockouts in MLB history, all with varying lengths. The shortest one in 1985 lasted just a few days, while the longest and most recent one lasted over 7 months and led to the cancellation of the 1994 World Series. While spring training, Brylin, is slated in just a few months to begin on February 25th, so we hope that it does not last over a month.
They could be cutting it close.
Yeah.
We hope that's not the case.
Yeah.
Because lockouts are never fun. You want to watch.
Right, right. So. Both sides need to just reconvene and come to an agreement and, so we can have baseball on time.
But switching to the NBA, if it wasn't for Joel Embiid, the Sixers would have seen a 14-game winning streak against the Hornets end Monday night in Charlotte. Embiid posted 43 points on 15 for 20 shooting, 15 rebounds and 7 assists in the Sixers' 127-124 overtime win at the Spectrum Center. The Sixers, who are now 13-11, came out flat in the first quarter Monday night. This was the 4th time in the last 5 years the Sixers have lacked first quarter energy and fallen into a hole because of it. The Sixers needed Embiid to be great because for much of the night their defense was not. Tyrese Maxey sat out his first game of the season with non-COVID illness. Shake Milton started in place of Maxey and shot 6 for 8 from the floor and 4 for 6 from the three-point range. Tobias Harris, who acquired a total of 21 points, 11 rebounds, had a rough start after a 1-game absence with non-COVID illness. He found his shooting stroke in the third quarter, though nailing 2 three-pointers. Embiid connected with Harris for a low-high bucket with 1:10 to go in overtime, lifting the Sixers to that 3-point lead. The Sixers will remain in Charlotte to take on the Hornets again tonight at 7 p.m. So that should be a good matchup again.
Yeah, and all I have to say is the Sixers better be very grateful for Joel Embiid this holiday season because unlike hockey, one player can make a huge difference in basketball.
Absolutely.
So Hopefully he keeps running on this starlit, you know, whatever. I don't even know. But our indoor track and field athletes have officially begun their season at the TCNJ Winter Open on Saturday and are already setting records. Courtney Humphries now holds the program record for the 1,000th meter run at 3 minutes and 19 seconds. She then went on to finish second in the mile run and setting another Neumann record with a time of 5 minutes and 45 seconds. Drew Konechny broke Neumann's records as well for the men's 1,000 meter and mile run. He finished second overall at 2 minutes and 35 seconds in the 1,000 meter run and then ran his 1 mile in 4 minutes and 33 seconds. Well, all I could wish for is to run like those men and women.
They were cooking. Let me tell you, they were hauling it to the finish line. I wish I could do that. My coach probably wishes I could do that too. But both the men's and women's basketball team played last night after almost a week break from competition. The women took on Penn State Brandywine, and their quick start led to a win over the Lions 68-50. Lauren Kleber led the Knights with 15 points. Soraya Hunt tallied 12 points, while Allison Wills scored 11. Neumann began the game with an 11-point run and continued to build that lead going into halftime, 36-20. The Knights continued to hold that double-digit lead the rest of regulation. Ria, tell us about the men's team.
Well, the men's team took on Washington College down in Maryland and could not close out the game. Only up by 1, the Shoremen went on a 7-point run in the first 5 minutes of the contest. The Knights then came back, being down by only 3. It seemed to be a good battle, back and forth, until Washington took a 10-point lead with 3 minutes remaining in the first half. The Shoremen continued to hold that double-digit lead majority of the second half, with the Knights falling short 76-61. Neumann returns home on Thursday to kind of reconvene and flip things up a little to host Lancaster Bible at 7:30 p.m. So hopefully they can make up for that loss.
Absolutely. The women's hockey team did not have an ideal weekend on the road, losing 11-0 against Nazareth College Thursday night. Michelle Bacon and Emma Swansburg split time in net to combine for 56 saves that evening. The Golden Flyers continued their undefeated season through Friday as the Knights fell 3-1. Much better than the night prior. Knowing they needed a much better start, Michelle Bacon had an outstanding performance between the pipes to keep the team in the game. Neumann has now finished the first half of their season for Christmas break and looks to continue to climb the UCHC standings in the spring semester. So they have some rest until January to recuperate, get their bodies right again, and then, start the second half of their season to see what they can prove in conference play.
Yeah, make a difference, and that's when it will matter most next semester. So, but on the flip side, the men's ice hockey team are doing pretty well. They wrapped up their first semester conference play with a 3-1 win over Manhattanville College last Friday night. Starting the night off hot, all scoring took place in the first period. Dexton Moselle tallied a goal only a minute and 45 seconds into the game. Nick Martino then scored a power play goal to give Neumann the lead early. The Valiants cut the lead in half with about 5 minutes left in the first, and Dion Demke found the back of the net to hold the lead the rest of the game. The Knights held Manhattanville off the board on 8 power play chances. Goaltender Kyle Pantalone had a spectacular game, making 46 saves. And I think the outcome of the game would have been different if Pants was not in net,
I
wouldn't
agree
you
with
say?
that completely. When I went to go watch the game, I think Kyle Pantalone had the game of his career.
Right.
Like, just watching them since freshman year, he just had this confidence about him, and he was just save after save after save, and I think it would have been a completely different game if he was not in net. So that was a very good choice by his coach to start him.
Yeah, that's great. Hopefully I'll rest up and keep that momentum going into the second half of their season. Well, the team had 11 block shots overall, led by Devin Joyce with 4. Neumann wraps up the first half of the season with a non-conference road trip against Albertus Magnus and River University. So we wish them the best of luck on closing out their first half of the season.
Thank you so much for joining our first half of our sports shift. We will see you all in 2022. We wish you the best of luck on all your finals and have a great holiday season.